French Impressions, from Loire Valley to Paris, with overseas adventure travel. Bonjour! C'était des vacances très spéciales with my best friend celebrating our retirements and my birthday in France. We met up in Newark to fly together via CDG to Nantes for our ride to Angers. Our Hôtel de France delighted us with a comfy room and a great view of La Gare. Here we met our trip leader Marie-Florence and our new travel buddies. C'est un groupe merveilleux. I loved the visual contrast of the old and new during our walking tour and the choo-choo train several of us took, along with the recognition of U.S. connections. Angers was traditionally known as La Ville Noire because many roofs were built of slate. Also note the white limestone of the buildings. It is currently called Ville Verte in reference to its numerous parks and important horticultural industry. The old medieval center is still dominated by the massive chateau with 17 towers and is home of the Apocalypse Tapestry, the biggest medieval tapestry ensemble in the world. Our first delightful learning and discovery was Train Your Nose, the scents of wine. We were divided in small groups and given vials of various scents to sniff. My team did not win, but we sure enjoyed the process. On day 2, we enjoyed a bus trip to visit Château de Villandry, which was restored thanks to a rich American wife.
Here we have the bed in an alcove. It's for several reasons. First, it's cozier. In winter, you just have to close the curtain. It's warm, neat, and nice.
The fabulous gardens were only 1/3 of the property. From this amazing chateau, we ventured on to the small village of Bouchemin for a learning and discovery. How to play boule de fort, unique in France.
Yes.
Check out our feet. It's the only sport you play wearing slippers. We are so talented. Food is a big deal in France. Leanne and my favorite meal in Angers, 5 courses, 2+ hours. Au revoir, Angers, as we venture to Oradour. It was an emotional visit back in time to the massacre of a rural village during World War II. The village was left in ruins as a memorial. On a brighter note, our host family dinner included a night's stay in their chateau, a truly special experience. Chateau is synonymous for castle. It can be a mansion for nobility, aristocracy, the wealthy. There are over 45,000 in France. Some are owned by government, others are owned privately, such as the ones we stayed in. A real hit for our group was their pet pig Gerard. En route to Sarlat, we stopped in Limoges for another great learning and discovery, porcelain.
Your fingers up,
Now you do this gesture like this.
Also en route, Marie-Florence delighted in sharing one of her favorite villages with us, a charming town with a rich heritage, and some short doors. I loved our time in Sarlat, a beautiful medieval town in the Dordogne region. Note the yellow limestone walls. Delightful discoveries for us included the fascinating cemetery, the lively market, the Truffle Museum, and walking the streets at night. This region is also famous for foie gras, a delicacy made of the liver of a duck or a goose fattened by force feeding. Therefore, it was most necessary for our learning and discovery. A very special outing was to Chateau de Camargue, where the custodian and owner gave us a tour. It was built on a cave with 15,000 years of history and has been in his family since 1200 AD. With support from American foundations and the French government, it is currently both an archaeological site and a historical monument. Several of our group chose to join Marie-Florence for an optional tour to Rocamadour. Built into the side of a cliff, it is an important pilgrimage site with 216 stone steps. The chapel houses the famous, ancient, and powerful Black Madonna. Our jaunt down the cliffside was followed with a fascinating learning and discovery from a stained glass artist.
Qui a été inventé par Monsieur Tiffany.
The copper technique is the one which is much more recent.
Notice the new earrings. Au revoir, Sarlat. We stopped in Albi on our way to Carcassonne to see Sainte-Cécile, the largest brick cathedral in the world. It imposes the appearance of a fortified castle. Yet the interior leaves one speechless. During a couple hours of free time, Leanne and I visited the Toulouse-Lautrec Musée. With its stunning garden. What a lovely stop. Carcassonne dates back to the Neolithic era. Its citadel, known as the Cité de Carcassonne, is a medieval fortress. I just love these. La Villa Basse dates to the late Middle Ages, founded as a settlement of the expelled inhabitants. Note the straight streets. I really liked the small church at the bridge, home to Our Lady of Good Health. There was also a free museum of interest. Spending a day in the life is always one of my favorites. In France, we got to learn all aspects of making wine at a local winery. Like biodynamic wine uses the lunar calendar. And they have a tool that confuses butterflies to protect the crop. Time to taste their delicious wines. and make our own blends to bring home to share with friends. Au revoir, Carcassonne. The journey continues now by TGV, that's a high-speed train, to Lyon. Our delightful guide proudly shared that Lyon is known as the capital of gastronomy with over 4,000 restaurants. In fact, 3 of the first restaurants to be awarded 3 stars by the Michelin Guide were in Lyon and were led by women chefs. The worldwide renowned chef Paul Bocuse was born in Lyon. He is referred to as the Pope of Gastronomy. The first culinary books were printed in Lyon. Lyon is the capital of murals, 150 in town, including the biggest fresco in Europe. Lyon is a green city with more than 300 parks, including the Parc de la Tête d'Or, the biggest park in France. And they have bee houses on roofs of train stations. There are 400 secret passageways in Lyon. The first funicular in the world was opened in Lyon. Lyon is the capital of pink praline, the caramel dyed pink for appeal. Lyon is the capital of nicknames, pencil, eraser, upside-down elephant, and so much more. And finally, Lyon is the capital of modesty. She ended our delightful tour with, "Do you know why we eat escargot? We don't like fast food." Au revoir, Lyon. Our final trek off to Paris. From the train to the metro to a nice walk to a cruise on the Seine. Our hotel wasn't quite ready, so we had some fun in the local bars. That evening, Leanne and my celebrating continued. Compliments of Leanne's daughter. A phenomenal meal experience at Verjus. Our final day in Paris was on our own, so we hit le Musée d'Orsay, then snagged a ride to Le Louvre. And you bet we saw the most famous and valuable painting in the world. Our final night has arrived. Our farewell dinner and goodbyes to Marie-Florence and all our new friends. Au revoir, Paris. Au revoir, France. Until next time.
Hey, Lovey, where do you think you might want to visit next year?
I would like to go to Floriade.
Floriade? I thought you didn't like the humidity in Florida.
I don't like the humidity in Florida, but I don't want to go to Florida. I want to go to Floriade.
What the heck are you talking about? Floriade, Florida? Are you practicing your Spanish?
No, Floriade Expo 2022 is an international horticultural exhibition in Almere, Netherlands. The theme is Growing Green Cities. The event showcases sustainable urban living solutions and attracts visitors from all over the world.
Sounds cool. Let's book it.
This should be a lot of fun with 33 countries participating in this expo.
Can't wait.
Floriade is derived from the Latin florio, meaning to bloom or blossom, and that's certainly the idea behind Floriade Expo 2022, a Dutch horticultural exposition held in Almere, Netherlands. The theme of the expo this year is Growing Greener Cities. As we walk towards the Floriade sign, made out of block wooden letters, we see both sides of the entrance lined with lovely beds of tulips stretching out over 100 feet, blessing us with all their beautiful colors and styles. After all, it is springtime in the Netherlands. There, at the end of the walkway, is Alex, a 20-foot-tall mechanical robot welcoming us to the expo, but very old-school mechanics. The ticket taker scans our ticket and directs us to get into the cable car for a short ride over the exposition, giving us a panoramic view of the expo. That was pretty cool. On the other end, the gondola drops us off on Utopia Island, where we start our adventure. We are welcome to see what Oosterwolde would look like, an example of self-organization and a democratic approach to urban living. There are 6 ambitions for Oosterwolde. They are to be organic, to have limited rules and maximum freedoms, to have continuous green landscapes, for 50% of your land to be designated for agricultural use, to produce your own food, and be financially stable. Conceptually, that sounds good, right? Good luck with that in a country where you must get approval for the color of your front door from the town you live in. Kinda sounds like our own HOAs.
Yesterday.
What are we doing, Amsterdam?
What did Ajax do yesterday?
I don't know. I didn't hear. We were over at Koekenhof today.
Now we're at the Koekenhof.
They were lost the cup final. So where are you from?
Tucson, Arizona.
Nice.
We came a long way.
It's like Breaking Bad, not Arizona.
Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon indeed.
Everybody here at the Floriada Expo 2022, we are string testing and we hope you're having a fantastic day. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes
beautiful.
We're gonna entertain you now for the next 30 minutes with some light jazz on a heavy banjo.
Bit of folk as well, right? Bit of folk.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So,
He is. He's got his gimbal. Keeps it steady.
Okay. Where are you from?
Tucson, Arizona.
Arizona. Wow. A lot of Americans here, seems today. A lot of Americans, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We love you too.
So what are you building?
We are actually, this is the agroforestry part of the Utopia Island. And this is a place where we just work as volunteers to keep the forest.
Do all the work.
Yeah, actually all these plants have been planted by us 2 years ago. And look at them now, they're quite big. And it was a wild forest here in the beginning.
Did you have to change the soil much?
Yeah, no.
No, you just put it in what was here.
Yeah, exactly. And a bit of compost, whatever they call it. Yeah, no fertilizers are used at all. Yeah, it's the old-fashioned way of agriculture, the old-fashioned agriculture way.
As we continue down the path in the Argo forest, we come across several pieces of conceptual artwork made from organic materials. I guess one person's vision is another's mystery. At least it was to me. We come full circle and pass a cafe to come across the plastic beach house made entirely out of recycled plastic. It's probably a pretty good use for all the plastic we recycle these days. Farewell, Utopia. Onward to the urban district. We first come to the Flavo campus that facilitates innovation, experimentation, and applied scientific research by supporting researchers. I guess they were outstanding in the field because no one was there that day. FC Wiki House folks were displaying their zero-carbon house kits. Geez, maybe like how Sears did in the earliest 20th century. But I don't think you can buy one for $2,400. But again, no one was there. The multi-storied Aries Hodge School is an interesting building that houses a university that focuses on agricultural education. But they must have been out in the field with the Flavo folks because we didn't see anyone there either. Seems to be a pattern here. We passed by a few other buildings that conceptually seem to be connected to research and education, which is a good thing, especially if people are around to talk to. Further down the walkway, we come across our first international pavilion, Germany, a welcoming pavilion and one of the few places serving food and drink, and so we did. I do like my German beer. We paused for a moment as we walked by the empty French pavilion. There was no ooh la la going on there that day. The Japanese pavilion was open and their gardens were beautiful. Inside was interesting, decorated with many items made from natural products and many beautiful floral arrangements. As we departed, the koi fish windsocks, the national fish of Japan, were blowing in the wind. Qatar was open for business and had several interesting structures. The sand-colored beehive-looking structure is actually an example of a pigeon house where they collect pigeon dung to use as a natural fertilizer. It's a common practice I've seen in other Middle Eastern countries. They had a short video playing praising the sheikh for all he has done for their country. Not a surprise there. The United Arab Emirates Pavilion had pools of water demonstrating how they are growing their country by moving sand from the desert and dumping it into the ocean so they can build more cities. China was peaceful and serene, as one would expect. It was a nice place to sit back, relax, and enjoy the sights and sounds of water and nature. As we headed to the greenhouse and gift shop, we paused for a small trolley that circles the expo on a regular basis. We purchased a few items at the gift shop, then headed to our car for our drive back to Amsterdam. All in all, we enjoyed our day at the expo. Since this expo only happens once every 10 years, I hope they figure out how to have everything open on day one. After all, only 5 countries' pavilions out of 33 were open. Totes zines, or goodbye, Floriade. Better luck next time.
Starbucks. Because I know they're close by.
Yeah, there are two, one right after the other.
But I mean immediately. So this is one, and then they'll open it, and then we'll be in another one right there. Yeah, right. He's in the second block already. Yeah. Okay.
you.